How you doing, guys? Today's infrared sauna question is going to be, hi Matt, thanks for all the reviews. I see you have a page for Clearlight VS Sunlighten, but it's not done yet. Do you have any additional info here? I can't figure out what to do. I'm a member of a sauna detox group where everyone says Clearlight all the way. Here we go again. But it's weird with the full spectrum, and I don't see why I have to have all three wavelengths to sweat like you say. Question mark. They also say Sunlighten puts toxic mesh over the heaters and to stay away. I don't know. Seems like a one-way ticket to nowhere. Then Sunlighten says Clearlight is built like crap, doesn't have nearly the emissivity on their heaters, and that the sauna group guy has no idea what he's talking about and might be a paid spokesperson for Clearlight. Okay. I don't think that's true, but we can get into that. They also say their EMF is super low and you don't even need to worry about electric fields. I thought that it does matter and that those levels should be lower. Argh, want to pull my hair out right now? I feel you, I do. Can't decide what to do. Please help. Okay. Where did this come from anyway? Okay. Yeah, I can help you with this. Let's just start from the top. I'll just go a little bit at a time, because you got a lot of stuff in here that is almost like quite a different videos in itself almost. I do have a page for Clearlight VS Sunlighten, and that page has been there for over a year, and it is incomplete. It is not finished. That's my fault. I planned to do more testing. I also didn't want to... Here's the deal at the end of the day. Both Sunlighten and Clearlight have some very similar products and very different products. And I didn't know that when I put up that placeholder page. I thought I would just go to a spa in Orlando, like in mid-2017, and pay to use, a Sunlighten and pay to use a Clearlight and figure out which one I liked better and then just do like a little review of it. It turns out that Sunlighten Impulse is very different than a Clearlight Sanctuary. Sunlighten Signature is very similar to a Clearlight Premier. Then they also have Sunlighten Dome, right? And then a Clearlight Dome. And they're different. The company culture and the focus of each company with Sunlighten and Clearlight is also different. The Clearlight, I can't even say the right thing here. What I realized was that to do a brand comparison like that, it really has to be on two specific sauna models that are an apples to apples comparison. So you wouldn't compare like a Clearlight Premier to a Sunlighten Impulse, just as you really wouldn't compare Sunlighten Signature to a Clearlight Sanctuary. One is like they're different animals, different price points, different creature comforts, different features. Some are just far infrared saunas, some are full spectrum saunas, some are the dome saunas. And then Clearlight is all about, low EMF, as in low electric fields and low magnetic fields, which I like now. 2 years ago, I have to be honest, I was not a fan of Clearlight. And it's because I went through a similar experience that I think you're describing here. There was a sauna Facebook detox group. I don't know if it's the same one that you are talking about. You didn't link that here. It probably is. And I just didn't like the salesmanship in there. I was going to buy a Clearlight, and then it was like all done via private message. Everything was hush-hush. No one actually talked about the pricing. I found out people were getting different prices for different areas of the country, different times of the year. It felt like fake sales going on, like, oh, get in now before the sale, ends and the price goes up and all this stuff. And I was just like, something is not right. And then it also was like the herd mentality, which I totally understand now if this is the same group that we're talking about. And they basically hate Sunlighten with a passion. I mean, Sunlighten could never do anything right? Which isn't the case at all. And so I didn't like that. And so I started testing the saunas myself because I couldn't get to the bottom of it, right? And I started buying stuff. And I wasn't going to put out $5,000 without being sure, because it was a lot of money, right? And I just couldn't figure out what to do. So I bought a cheap sauna from Costco or Amazon, whichever came first. You can go watch my reviews and see. And so, I was thinking to myself, well, let me get a cheap one. Let me try it for a little while. If I really like it, then it'll give me time to figure out which one of these more expensive ones is the best buy, and then I'll pick that one, right? Because it's something about the high pressure and buy it right now. What kind of wood do you want? It just wasn't working for me, right? And so once I started testing the saunas and I realized that I was going to come full circle and go back to the Clearlight and the Sunlighten and all this stuff, I didn't want to put up a brand comparison page that just compared two different brands without being really specific, because that's not really fair to either one of them, right? So you can't just say Clearlight versus Sunlighten as a whole, right? I don't want to be that person because it's not accurate. It's not apples to apples, be apples to oranges. And I just don't think it's the right way to do stuff. So I've got to redo that when I can have the time to do a direct comparison for a competing model between the two companies. That said, I can still offer you some advice and I can give you my opinion on what I would buy out of the two companies and why. I will also give you my opinion about the way a lot of the sauna marketing is done and how I don't like it. But I will tell you at the end of the day what is the best criteria to analyze to select, the right brand for you. So let's go. But you are right. I do have the placeholder page there. I have not finished it. I'm sorry. That's my fault. Let's go. So I think that was the additional info or the backstory that you may have been looking for. At least I hope. If not, I can always make another video for you clarifying. It says I'm a member of a detox sauna group, Clearlight all the way. Yeah. Full spectrum. Yeah, so I don't think you need full spectrum if you just want to do a normal niacin detox, or you just want to sweat out heavy metals, or get in better health. There's benefits to having some of the full spectrum saunas because they add heat to the front of the sauna if they have frontal infrared heaters. I mean, you might be adding 500 watts of heat right in front of you. That's going to make a difference whether it's full spectrum or not. But at the same time, most of those saunas are $2,000 more. They're more expensive to put in because usually you have to have an electrician run a dedicated circuit for them, and so on and so forth. So it's hard for me to answer that question because it will become highly individual. It'll be a highly individual basis or a case-by-case basis, really. What's more important to you? Is budget your primary concern? Are you in poor health and you got a lot of other doctor stuff to pay for and you just need something to help you sweat for the best price that's reliable, not going to break, give you what you need, blah, blah, blah? Or is money not that big of a deal? You want the nicest sauna you can get, the most comfortable with all the gadgets. You want it to connect to Bluetooth and Wi-Fi and do all this stuff. That's two different saunas for two different types of people. So you'd have to give me more information to say one way or another. But it's my opinion that no, you do not need full spectrum in order to have a good detox or to have a good sauna experience. The saunas, I can have any sauna that I want on the planet, and I just use a far infrared sauna. I don't know how to give you more proof in the pudding than that. That should tell you everything you need to know right there. They also say Sunlighten puts toxic mesh over their heaters and to stay away. Well, yeah. If it's who I'm thinking of, they always have something to say about Sunlighten. Now, I wouldn't say that Sunlighten puts toxic mesh over their heaters because Clearlight also puts material or a mesh in front of their heaters. So I hate that. I don't think that's a good comparison. The Clearlight build quality is like the best in the industry. The actual woodworking, cabinetry, the fit and finish, the cabin build quality itself is second to none. It is top notch. The thing that drives me to not really like the Sunlightens too much are the EMF levels are higher than I want them to be. I can't do anything about that. They build great saunas. They're amazing quality. They're excellent for the price that you pay. Just their company culture as a whole is not focused on mitigating, magnetic fields and electric fields down to the level of what we do for the certified sauna list. And so, it's a tough thing. We're gonna switch gears here. It says, then Sunlighten says Clearlight is built like crap and doesn't have nearly the emissivity on their heaters, and that the sauna group has no idea what he's talking about and might be a paid spokesperson for Clearlight. It does seem that way, doesn't it? It's like I call it the Clearlight. I call it the Sunlighten hater group, right? Like Sunlighten could never do anything in the world that's halfway good for people, right? So while you'd be surprised how much this stuff comes up and how much nonsense, it's like a back and a forth. It might as well just be dribbling and running up and down the court because it's pretty much like a terrible basketball game. We get seats in the bleachers or something. I don't know. But we can hear it clear as day. I don't know. Better have a couple beers. Make you a little cocktail for this one. So I would disagree and saying that one sauna has greater emissivity over the other. They're both carbon panel saunas. You're not going to get like a huge difference in emissivity from a different carbon panel heater than another. There might be a 5 to 15% difference, and I'm being extremely generous here, even agreeing with it at all. I would kind of agree that the Sauna Group guy has no idea what he's talking about. He's not a paid spokesperson for Clearlight, but I definitely agree with he might not have no idea what he's talking about. That's evident because he doesn't actually own the saunas that he says are the best. When you have to ask if this is this has to be it. If it's the sauna detox group that I'm thinking of that I was banned from, it's got to be it because no one talks like this except for those people. And when you don't own the saunas that you promote the most, I mean, it's just ridiculous. When you have to ask other people what the dimensions of something is because you don't have one in your house, yet you say they're the greatest thing since sliced bread. That's all I needed to know. That's all I needed to hear. Because if you do that to me, I'm going to say, well, why don't you FaceTime me really quick? I'm going to walk in the other room with a tape measure and we're going to look at the sauna. And I don't know the measurements off the top of my head, but I can damn sure show them to you. They also say EMF is super low and you don't even need to worry about magnetic field or electric fields. I don't agree with that. Sunlight, I would promote Sunlighten saunas on the certified sauna list today if the EMF was a little lower. It's just too high. The Impulse has 15 milligauss magnetic fields in it. I wasn't even checking for body voltage and electric fields back then, so I can't comment on that. But I can tell you from seeing other people's videos, it's not going to be low enough to be on the certified sauna list at all. Now, the Signature, on the other hand, does have lower magnetic fields. However, I don't know if the current... See, that's the other thing. I don't want to speak out of turn. Like, somebody sent me all the new literature and the info for the brand new 2019 or 2020 Sunlighten saunas that are coming out. Like, they revamped their line or something. So I don't want to say that they're a pile of crap, and then they've been addressing this stuff the whole time, and then they come out with a great, sauna or something like that. Who knows? If I haven't been in it or I haven't tested it, I can't really tell you for sure. This is what I know to be true about previous year saunas as far as the Sunlighten Signature and Sunlighten Impulse. Electric fields were not mitigated. So if electric fields are not mitigated, you're going to have high body voltage and you're only going to have partial EMF levels reduced. So that's not something that I would recommend. That's not something I would use for myself. And you're never going to find something like that on the certified sauna list. The whole point of the list is so that people don't have to worry about things like this. I thought that it does matter and those levels should be lower. You're correct. They should be lower, and it does matter. Argh, I want to pull my hair out right now. I can't decide what to do. Well, if I had to pick one out over the other today, like if you were comparing a Clearlight Sanctuary to a Sunlighten Impulse, I would pick the Sanctuary, not because one has better full spectrum than the other. I don't believe in any of that bullshit. I believe that the Clearlight Sanctuary is lower EMF than a Sunlighten Impulse, so I would choose it based on that alone. And the same goes for the Clearlight Premier versus the Sunlighten Signature. I would pick the Clearlight Premier because I know for a fact that it has all magnetic fields, electric fields, everything is mitigated. You can go watch my video where I personally tested it. It'll also give you a 2-person model that'll work on a 15 amp circuit, so you don't have to hire an electrician to put it in, which is what most people in America are looking for. $2,000 to $3,000. They don't want to spend $5,000 or $6,000 if they don't have to. Something that's well made, that's going to last. It's going to be low EMF, not going to zap them. I mean, that's pretty much what everybody wants. You can also, for updates, you can also check out CertifiedSaunas.com, or you can go to the Certified Sauna list. I've got coupon codes on there if you want to buy a Clearlight or something else that I promote. You might actually also like the Radiant Health Sauna. That was the sauna of the year for 2019. A little bit cheaper. Still very high quality unit. You can see my video review of it. It's the sauna that I choose to use in my house, but I have more than one sauna and I could pick whatever I wanted. A little bit cheaper, same discount code for all the companies. It's MattJustice-500. Some companies that'll save you $300 to $600 off, depends. Usually it's $500 along with some free goodies. But I would check out the list of certified saunas. You can find it on my blog or you can just Google it. Can't decide what to do. That's what I would do. I mean, I would go with the Clearlight over the Sunlighten, given the options and the comparison or given the differences in EMF as it stands right now. Unless something changes in the future, in which I'll redo the reviews and we can test any new products that come out. But that would be my choice. Not that Sunlighten doesn't make a good product. They do. Just the EMF levels are higher than I'd like them to be. So I hope that helps and hope that sheds some light on stuff. If I miss something or if I misquoted something, a lot of times in the video, I'm looking at something and I say the opposite brand. You catch it in the video when you're listening, but I don't see it until later, until it's already on YouTube, and then we can't do anything about it. So anyway, hope that helps. Have a great day, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.